it's Steven Platinum, your friend in wrestling, with Platinum versus Raw. This is from June 21st, 2021. Boy, a hard show to read, which is probably a good thing compared to the shows that they put on recently. Let's just dive into it and see what we can uncover. So this is a post Hell in a Cell edition of Raw. We've got Corey Graves, Byron Saxton, Jimmy Smith. We see the Money in the Bank briefcases as we hype tonight's 5 qualifying matches. So that's nice that they actually have sort of a thread running through the show. And out comes Bobby Lashley with MVP and Lashley's Ladies. He gets the introduction, the full deal. They're doing the VIP lounge. Talks about he and Drew McIntyre going to war last night. The Almighty's the best. All this kind of stuff. MVP is taking shots at the New Day and calls them clowns as they come to the ring. The long and short of it is Kofi wants him at Money at the Bank, and Lashley immediately accepts, which I think is kind of a cool, unexpected move. And then Lashley wants Woods in the Hell in a Cell. Woods wants to know for himself. So the WWE sort of implies that Woods must win if Kofi wants the title match at Money in the Bank. Why do they... That stipulation makes no sense. It makes no sense. Don't get me started. Again, when they think of an interesting concept, they always find a way to fuck it up. I know they're trying to give stakes to it, but you don't need stakes to it. It's Woods is like, I want to know for myself. Is what it is. All right, Money in the Bank qualifying match. AJ Styles and Ricochet. Ricochet unexpectedly wins. Which is nice. It's a nice way to go, like, oh my God, we're going to see some surprises tonight. Money in the Bank qualifying match. Asuka and Naomi against Eva Marie and Doudrop. Doudrop, the way it's spelled, by the way. Urban Dictionary kind of code for a lesbian. So, fucking weird. Asuka and Naomi win. We get video packages of Charlotte Flair's DQ win over Rhea Ripley, and we see Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville discussing it. Bobby Lashley's warming up for the Hell in a Cell match with Xavier Woods for the main event. Sonya Deville and Adam Pearce are in the ring. They want to talk. Ripley takes the mic. Pierce agrees with Deville and says what Ripley did was completely unacceptable. Ripley goes on about how she's seen Flair abuse the same rules. Flair comes to the ring. This thing is a muddy mess. Kudos to Sonya Deville and Adam Pearce for trying to make this thing seem like it holds water. I mean, that's all you can do, right? The long and short of it is Flair will get another title shot at Money in the Bank. Great. We see Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose brawling with the tag champions, Natalya and Tamina Snuka, last week. And we see Natalya and Tamina's photo shoot earlier today. And then Brooke and Rose are now making noise in the ring. The roles are reversed. And then they have words. The champs sort of enter, but then get sent to the floor. I will say this. They are at least creating heat between the two teams and having a reason for them to eventually have a match, which I will take. Other people can crap on this, but I will always take an attempt to book and engage us in a story. I don't think that's a bad thing in the slightest. Money in the Bank qualifying match, Randy Orton and John Morrison. John Morrison wins. And now I'm beginning to get the theme. I think to myself, the losers are going to get put in some kind of wild card. Strangely, I came up with that tournament format years ago when we would do the Platinum Classic, which came about as a result of really out of necessity. Because we only had 6 wrestlers because there was an ice storm and we still had to do a show. So the way that we did it, one of the wrestlers helped me come up with this concept, to be fair. I believe it was Naja, which was 3 first-round matches with the 6 wrestlers, and then the losers of those matches engaged in a triple threat where one of them would advance in the wild card. So then you would have 4 people, so 2 semifinal matches and then a final. So out of 6 wrestlers, you would get 7 matches. And it made for a full card, and everybody was happy and really loved the format. So pretty cool, right? In any case, you had Miz and Orton nonsense with the drip stick spraying water and, bro getting involved, which distracted Orton, and it is what it is. We see Alexa Bliss's win over Shayna Baszler at Hell in a Cell. We see highlights from that nonsense. Baszler, for some reason, isn't worried. Okay. We get Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross versus Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. Nikki Cross, who does a promo where she's a superhero now. Okay. Nikki Cross manages to get the win. And Baszler, Jackson, Reginald regroup in the ring. So it's going to be Nikki Cross, Alexa Bliss, Asuka, and Naomi in the Money in the Bank ladder match so far. Sonya Deville and Adam Pearce approach Drew McIntyre backstage, and his back is all scarred up. They make it clear that Drew McIntyre doesn't have to compete tonight, but Drew insists. And he's never going to give up. He's going to keep fighting. So we get Drew McIntyre against Matt Riddle. At the end of the day, they go to commercial at least a couple of times. They're really stretching this match out, and deservedly so. Drew picks Riddle up on his shoulders, but then Riddle finds a way to roll him up to qualify out of nowhere. So Riddle wins. So yeah, we're definitely setting up the losers of the qualifying matches in a match with each other. It's got to be. And sure enough, Jackson Riker, before we get to that announcement, we see the New Day preparing for the main event. And then we come back and Jackson Riker is warming up when Mansoor interrupts. Jackson Riker is whipping himself with the strap and explains that he and Elias are going to have a strap match. And we announced that Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre versus AJ Styles in a second chance, and my Money in the Bank qualifier is set for next week as well. So we're actually promoting next week's show. This is a new thing for Raw, and it's very great to see. It's very great to see. Then we have a main event. Now, it's a foregone conclusion, but I will say that Xavier Woods looked really good in this match. Him and Bobby Lashley obviously have a kind of a chemistry there, and it really works. And the long and short of it is Bobby Lashley wins, and then they lock Kofi out, and Bobby Lashley continues to apply the Hurt Lock, Full Nelson, and taunts Kofi. A good Raw, maybe the first decent Raw that they've had in quite some time, and a bunch of good precedents are set promoting the next week's show and things like that. Let's hope they can keep it going.